Hi, my name is Tammy Thomas, and this is my presentation of Interpersonal Communication Project, HSCO 508, Liberty University. Next slide. According to Jon Stewart, communication happens between persons, not between roles, masks, or stereotype, and is viewed as a continuous, complex, collaborative process of verbal and nonverbal meaning making. Interpersonal communication happens when people involved talk and listen in ways that maximize the presence of the personal. Next slide. My overarching goal is to be an empathetic listener. Listen at level 1. And by doing this, I will have to listen with my heart, refrain from judging others, be attentive, be interested in others' need, listen from an okay attitude. Place myself in their shoes or position, show verbally and non-verbally that I am listening. And in doing all these things named in the previous slide will help me to develop the skills of understanding, caring, and empathy when communicating with others. Next slide. For my behavior blend, according to Carbonell 2008, behavior blend is a combination of understanding personality behavior using the 4-quadrant models to explain why people do what they do. The results of my DISC uniquely you is ISC or ICS. For my positive behavior blend, I am incredibly gifted with my people skill. I like to influence and interact with people. People like my friendliness and enthusiasm. I can be both outgoing and reserved. I don't have to be in charge. Next slide. I prefer peace and harmony as well as organization. I'm multifaceted and flexible. The CIS me like doing things the right way. Stabilize situations. I do enjoy large and small gathering. I am excellent with people and prefer quality. And the CSI me, the mature me in control of my personality makes great leaders. Good with people and everyone seems to like me. I am mature and aware of my strength and uniqueness. Next slide. And I also can be all things to all people. I can be very aggressive but more assertive. Known for my humility and quietness, surprise spontaneity or shyness, can entertain crowds, like preparation, outgoing, can take control when I have to. But the negative behavior blend of me can be very critical, fault-finding, indecisive, and direct. And that is something that I work very hard on doing because I can be very direct to the point where I'm hurting people's feelings. And I'm working hard on trying not to do that. The results of my DISC is truly a reflection of my personality and the person that I am today. Our belief, feelings, and decision making and environment shape our being. According to Jon Stewart 2009, interpersonal communication happens between persons, not between roles, masks, or stereotype. Humans are relational, not solitary beings. We fundamentally need contact with each person. Next slide. My potential barriers. My barriers are interjecting in conversations before the other person who is talking is finished with what they have to say. As I was reading Burley Allen 1995 book, I saw myself as a faker and interrupter. A faker pretends to listen when their mind are actually off on a flashing tangent or wandering somewhere else. I usually do this when the conversation is too extensive and boring. Next slide. I interrupted someone who interjects when the other is talking instead of waiting until the other person's conversation is over. This person listened at a level 2 or 3. I caught myself interrupting in conversations years ago, but never thought it was a problem until I read the Burley Allen book, Listening, the Forgotten Skill. To my surprise, no one ever called me out on that. Next slide. I can be very outspoken or forthcoming unintentionally. I had to learn to be tactful and consider other people's feelings because everybody couldn't take my personality. The flat brain is someone who is depressed, excited, angry, happy, and fearful. This person can infect everyone at the party, in the office, or on your block with flat brainitis. A third is someone who starts out relaxed and happy with all the function as well, working well, according to Peterson, 2007, page 33. Next slide. I have operated many times in my life as a flat brain, not knowing that I hurt someone feeling. And just like a third, I was happy about the conversation I was having. When I learned that I have hurt someone feeling, I tried to defend myself or my actions, and according to Peterson 2007, when we try to defend ourselves, we attack people who already have fat bellies, hard heart, and flat brains. We add to their upsets, reducing even more their abilities to cope. Next slide. Whenever I'm in a situation, I used to opt out of the flat brain tango. Instead of making the situation worse, try a new response by shutting off the music and de-escalating the flat brain tango, and notice the thud and don't defend yourself. Peterson 2007. Next slide. Each barrier is different and should be dealt with differently. As an interrupter, I will allow the person who is talking to finish their conversation while listening to what they had to say, and practice at being an empathetic listener, listening at level 1. As a faker, I will listen attentive to each person that has the longest sense of conversation and make gestures to let them know that I am paying attention. Next slide. I have learned to be very considerate and compassionate of other people's feelings by avoiding flat brainitis, and continue to be a third by not defending myself, and switch to a new conversation to change the mood, to de-escalate the flat brain tango. Now for internal and external noise pollution. Internal thought process or distraction is the way you feel and behave at what you do. Non-productive behavior, there's negative dialogue / tone, defensiveness and stress, non-assertiveness. The next slide. External distractions are filters from our experience, environment, faulty interpretation, judging, and belief. To overcome these internal and external distraction, we must practice self-awareness through listening to ourselves. Listen to what we are thinking. This awareness can lead to an understanding of your belief by which you live your life. Next slide. My action plan is to listen effectively as an empathetic listener at level 1. Listen more and speak less. Listen with my heart, be attentive in the moment, refrain from judging. Use the talker-listener card. Next slide. And again, to opt out of the flat brain and stay a third that is happy and relaxed by changing the conversation in any situation. In regards to my barriers, I will practice more and more on my listening skills and win at achieving my goal as an empathetic listener. I have learned to be tactful in how and what I say to people to avoid hurting their feelings, which is unintentionally, and by being compassionate and considerate of how they feel. Next slide. For the internal and external, I will be more aware of my self-awareness, develop the habit of listening to myself, think more positive as opposed to negative thoughts and feelings, focus on being non-judgmental, not to impose my belief on others because of my life experience. And right now, I would like to thank you for listening to my presentation of interpersonal communication. Thanks. Bye-bye.